Hello, everyone. I am Lynn, Dream Girl Writer, and I'm coming to you today with this video to kind of present a few myth busters about dreams. And the reason that I want to do this is because I have found myself, funny paradox that though it may be, as I learn more and more about dreams and how they weave into the wisdom of my life and how they provide me with awareness like never before, it gets less and less practical for me to talk about them, or shall I say, I am unable to express what they do for me, how dreams work for me, less and less as I learn more and more about them. And so that's the myth buster number one, is that dreams have anything to do with expert skills or knowledge, or if you find another person who knows more about dreams than you do, then you can use what that person knows to know more about your dreams. And while there is a little bit of truth and some more than others, or truth about that in some ways more than other ways, really, dreams are you. I, as an individual dreamer, do dip into collective wisdom, the wisdom of the ages, so to speak. I do become more aware of things that no one ever taught me or that have kind of drifted by my awareness before and now are becoming very firmly within my grasp in in a practical way where I can use them in my life. And yet, at the same time, my dreams and my dream messages are being embodied within me in such a way that the best way to express what I know about dreams is just to live well and engage with others on a regular basis in kindness and in love. I had a couple, well, there was a couple on the end of my path uh, about 2 weeks ago. Lovely young couple, and I could see they were trying out the bathroom at the public bathroom, and it was closed. And so I went and told them that it closes at 5 o'clock, 5 p.m., and that's why it was not open, but it's open during the day. And got to chatting with them, and they were tourists in town, and they loved my little village of Cambria. And so I was asking them, where they came from. We were chatting about what they were up to. And somehow dreams came into the conversation. And the man, they asked me what I did. I said I was a writer. What kind of books do you write? Well, I've written one on dreams and one on poetry and one on music. And the man perked right up and said, "Oh, dreams, you know about dreams." And my wife here, she dreams a lot, and she has fantastic dreams. And so, yeah, what's your book? And yada yada yada. So, I gave him the name of my book, of course, but we're just chatting a little bit more, and the woman came into the conversation. I could tell she was indeed a gifted dreamer because of the way she spoke about it as being, going into another world, going into another realm and unpacking, like watching a film, just being presented with a story. And that is exactly how my dreams work too. And while other people may have other formats for their dreams and may come to them in very different ways, still, I think those of us who are able to practically use the wisdom of our dreams know that it is, a story being told to us that interweaves into our own lives and that we can use on a practical daily basis in our lives. And but the man was asking me specific questions, about how he could dream better, or he gave me an example of one of his dreams and asked me what it meant. And of course, first of all, these are strangers to me. And while I would have loved to have a full on conversation, I could tell, they were on their way out of the park where we were and probably on their way to dinner because it was about that time. And so I just walked with him a little bit and I told him what I could about the fact that dreams are such individual processes, and understanding messages is like learning a new language and culture, and being able to immerse yourself in that language and culture and call it your own without too much influence from anyone else, because dreams are so unique to the individual. And so, a few of those things came out. I'm really articulating a lot better now than I did in the, by the seat of my pants as we're walking our way. And then when I went away from them, they were very lovely. We said a nice goodbye, and they were only going to be in town a couple more days. So there was very little chance that we would see each other again. But as I walked away, I thought, you know, that the lesson finally came home to me that when people ask about dreams, what they want is a elevator speech. They want a quick fix. They want you to give them some gem of wisdom that they can take home, and then they can do that, and like a little bit of an instruction manual, and even at parties and things where you have more time to talk about these things, maybe get more in depth, or if you're, even with some friends or some people that are closer to you, where you do get more in depth about dreams, what they want to come away with is knowledge. And dreams have nothing to do with knowledge. And if you're looking to your dreams to give you instructions about life or some kind of manual that you can refer to when things go wrong in life, then you're kind of short-sighting yourself, or shortcutting, trying to shortcut the real gift that comes from dreams. And that is to just surrender to the mystery of them. After 15 years of chronicling dreams, the only reason that I still write them at this point in time is because I feel as if the reference points at which when they occurred at which time they occurred in my life are important to me, and will be important as time goes on, for me to look back and see where quote unquote initiation was in my life, because the dream story will directly coincide with the initiation in waking life. And by that, I mean when I've reached a new level of awareness or understanding or compassion or forgiveness. And so for that reason, I still record my dreams, but I'm much less concerned with like compiling them. And I have, thousands of them on my computer as a record in that way. And now when I write them longhand. And the process of writing them, the physical process of writing them, is part of the embodiment of the dream message. And all that being said, it's like, how can I impart to anyone else how that feels? How can I, come up with a few sentences about how to understand your dreams better by telling you how I understand my dreams? Because you may use some of the same techniques that I do, but they're all pointers to they've the process is very different than the result. And the result is really not a result. The result is an awareness. And awareness is sort of nebulous and, untouchable in terms of articulating it into words or making it helpful for anyone else. And rather than belabor this point and maybe even turn you off from the idea of understanding your dreams, I just want to bring up one other myth that I think a lot of people suffer from. And that is that there is any kind of instruction manual in this life, or that if you know how to understand your dreams, you will have a leg up on a spiritual process over others, or it will give you more insight into being more spiritual, or keep you from having to suffer anymore. All of that is true to a certain extent, but the way that it happens and the timing that it happens, and it's never in a linear fashion, it's never in an explicable fashion that really can be transferred from person to person without mistranslation. So, what I'm really trying to tell you is that, however, you can understand yourself better, even if that's by just learning how to cook better, or even if it's by just saying, you know, I have no idea what my dreams are telling me. And frankly, I'm okay with that. I really don't care to know the messages of my dreams. And I know people say that they're healed from them and that they've been transformational in their lives, and shamanic wisdom or the indigenous cultures almost always had a dreamer, a shaman within the group that would share dreams with the community that would be very important to the benefit of the community or the future of the community. Even though that we know all those lofty things about what can happen when one knows dreams, I say that if if you dismiss your dreams as meaning nothing, or you'd rather not unpack them because they seem scary to you, I say good for you. Because if you do want to become more aware of who you are and your purpose in life, you can do that any way you see fit. And dreams are important to me because they came to me and presented that glimpse of awareness. And I followed that golden trail. But you could just as soon learn from a job or an elder, or a broken love affair. You could learn as much from that as I do from my dreams. Any way you want to go within yourself, honor your true self, your true nature of love and gentleness and kindness. Any way you do that is the way, is your way, is the right way. So now that I've hopefully dismissed myself as any kind of expert on dreams, especially for someone else, I would like to say I wish you a kind and gentle life, and I wish you one in which there is a lot of awareness. And I also encourage you to remember, whatever you do, never doubt that the mystery is the important thing for you to discover, for you to surrender to the mystery of whatever it is you do, to let go of what came before and be present in the moment of which you're receiving, of which you're sitting there talking, even small talk to a neighbor, to just really know that each moment, if we surrender to it, if we honor it, whatever we are doing, that that mystery will reveal itself to us. And we can take that with us wherever we go, whatever skill set we have, whatever kind of expert we may be, or whatever kind of non expert we may be, however simple we may be, or ordinary, or unnoticed. That mystery is working for us at all times. And when it comes to us, we can receive it with open arms. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.